It's the Unity Reunion Parade, Cookout, Line Dance Party, Backyard, Barbecue, Fish Fry, Vegan Soul, Black Business, Food Truck, Networking, Outdoor, Concert, Music Festival, Celebration of the Year, featuring Tidra Moses, Talib Kweli and Jay Walls, Marsha Ambrosius, Common and Pete Rock. Get tickets now at OhioBlackExpo.com. That's OhioBlackExpo.com.
African Diaspora News Channel will be broadcasting live. Join Phil Scott, Vicky Dillard, and Demetra Kay from C-Bus. Get your tickets today.
Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At CPRfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at CPRfirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my 2 books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
I'm usually known as Cinderella around Joburg. Biggest misconception about you? Nothing. It's all true. It's all true. It's all true. If you hear something, believe it. Like sometimes I'm just in it because like I want things. I want money. I want to have fun.
Yeah.
But in there's times where this guy's fine. Yeah. Like I want to have fun. Yeah. One thing about this whole industry is that you shouldn't care. I date mostly like married men, because I don't have that type of time for you.
Oh, yeah.
And you are married, you don't have that type of time for me.
His wife, one that texted me at 11 o'clock, I'm like, she's like, my husband can't control himself, and you as a woman, you can't. I said, Mama, you can't even speak English, like, I can't even understand, like.
Watch Slay Queen only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. A key location in the history of the transatlantic slave trade and the story of our foundational Black American ancestors. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured, held, and shipped off into slavery. We'll visit historic sites like Elmina Castle and Cape Coast, where you'll see with your own eyes what our ancestors endured. You'll also experience modern Ghana, the culture, the people, the food, and the history they carry, giving you a broader understanding of how our story intersects with theirs. If you've ever wanted to deepen your understanding of our history, this is your opportunity. There are 25 spots available, and once those spots are gone, that's it. So don't wait. Secure your spot today by paying a deposit and be part of this unforgettable journey. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
What if I told you there's a news platform made just for us? Unfiltered, unapologetic, telling our stories from Africa and the diaspora. The African Diaspora News Channel app keeps you informed and empowered from wherever you are at any time. Don't just watch, join the movement. Download the app now and stay connected to the news that matters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream this evening. I was running a little behind, but we here. We're gonna talk about 3 different stories tonight, because I was like, you know what, man, we got to talk about it tonight, because I like to look for things that come up, as they come up, and I appreciate everybody that's here. Definitely on the community tab, we have the link. You can, if you want to look into the Ghana trip that we have November 14th through the 21st. Now there's 24 spots left now. So 24 spots left. So make sure to jump on ASAP so the mad rush don't happen. And then you're like, oh man, I wanted to go with y'all. So do that. The deposit is $199 and you can pay your payments. November 14th through the 21st, it will not conflict with the Thanksgiving holiday for those of you who celebrate that. Now, some people don't celebrate that at all. But I have to put it out there like that. I know some people, they celebrate, right? Also appreciate everyone that's downloading the African Diaspora News Channel app, the Google Play and Apple App Store. Excuse me. And like we always say, if we can get 10 people to join us on the app or stream, we trying to get to our 10,000 members, and that's always the goal for us, to get to 10,000. We trucking along, right? Just like when we started this channel, we had 0 subscribers, 0. It was nobody here. And then look at where it's at today, but how that happens, one person at a time, okay? One person at a time. I want to give everybody a shout out that is here, the people that is coming in. I don't want to wait too long, because I know y'all was waiting a little bit, and I know people today don't have a lot of patience. I think that's a horrible thing that people deal with today, and I think what I've even learned, that is a virtue, patience. It really is. If you can't stand to be patient, your life will be extremely frustrating. It really will be. So learn to chill, or while you're waiting on one thing, get yourself busy with something else. That way you're not even paying attention to what you're waiting on, right? That's what I've learned. Replace that time with something else you could be doing, and by the time you've done something else, that, man, what you're waiting on already didn't happen already came up. So also the Ohio Black Expo. How many brothers and sisters, in here are from, Columbus, Ohio? We will be out there shortly, not too long, at the Ohio Black Expo. We'll be there that Saturday. I think that's the 24th. We'll be there. So, I've never been. I don't know how the food trucks are, but I definitely want to try them out. All right. So let's go ahead and get going real quick. Veronica say you don't ever get the notification. Veronica, there are so many videos going up on this channel. From what I was told by YouTube a long while ago, we only get 5 notifications a day. Only 5, right? So many videos are going up on this channel. You probably get everybody else's, but may not even get this one. If you know that I stream Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, just kind of look out for it. Like, okay, is he streaming? He's not streaming. Let me go check it out, right? Sometimes YouTube be on what they own notifications. So just check us out. We are a daily platform, so we got something going up every single day, okay? And that would be that. Now, let's say you subscribe to Emancipation Media or the Phillip Scott Show or Phillip Scott Podcast, you're probably going to get notifications a lot quicker there, because we don't have that many people posting over there, especially on my podcast channel. I'm the only one posting there, right? So you go get notifications when that happens. So matter of fact, when we're done with this, I got to edit those podcasts and get them up. All right. So there's some 3 things we want to look at and cover tonight. Where's all my African immigrants? Where's the African immigrants? I hope you're here, or maybe you'll come by and watch the replay. So we've said so many times that it's not good when y'all come to this country and you don't befriend FBAs, okay? And I'm not saying you're doing it on the guise of you don't like FBAs. Not saying that, right? Because as I've went to foreign countries, sometimes when you see your people, your tribe, right? Let's say when I go to other countries and I meet other FBAs that's already been in this, let's say, African country, the FBAs can give me, a little insight on some things from an FBA perspective about this particular country that I'm in, right? So you wouldn't understand maybe why some of them would do it to a point. So when they come to these countries, they go with their people, right? But the problem is their people aren't giving them the full information, and you have to befriend FBAs to get the full information. Now, when you're looking for FBAs in other countries, doesn't mean you're shunning the distant cousins. You're not shunning them. You just want to know, okay, you've been over here, you know how it is to be an American, an FBA in particular. Like, hey, how was it for you to kind of get in with this society? How was the different cultural nuances? Like, what's up? But when we do that, we just learn it. We don't exclude them. We don't push them away. We don't say, I don't want to deal with them. If something come up, we're not there to be against them or something like that, right? Okay, cool. So you have people that look for their, people where they come from, and they try to, okay, help me in America. I just got here. You speak the language, whatever the case may be. But this particular African immigrant who just got here, he made a grave mistake that could have cost him his life. Let me go ahead and play this story, and you're going to see why he should have, or at least his friends or his people should have got the knowledge from FBAs.
He just started shooting at him and he thought his life was over.
She is a relative of the victim, the DoorDasher seen in this doorbell video trying to make a food delivery. On Friday night, the 24-year-old was lost on a rural road in Chester, the battery of his cell phone dead.
I need any help.
After asking for help at this house, the victim knocked on John Riley's door. That's where the town of Chester's highway superintendent allegedly shot the victim. Here's the version the DoorDasher told his family.
He asked the guy, "Is this your order?" The guy said no and proceeds to say, "Get off my property." He walks away. He's going about his day, going to his car, and the guy tries to murder him.
The victim first stopped at a gas station. Relatives say he was so scared he then drove all the way home to Middletown. The native of Guinea-Bissau moved to the U.S. just a few months ago to live with his siblings.
He's a really kind soul. Like he's really quiet. He doesn't really speak up much.
Riley is 48 years old, recently re-elected to his post as highway supervisor and a federally licensed firearms dealer. No trespassing signs are now posted in front of the home. The victim is still hospitalized after undergoing surgery. His family relieved the injuries weren't life-threatening.
We're not a hateful family or anything. The situation makes us angry, but we're just very grateful that he's alive, and we want this guy to get the punishment he deserves because he tried to kill him.
Now, before I say anything, as a Black American, when you see just this picture right here, and you in the freaking woods on a road, and you have no cell phones power, I don't know why y'all don't get chargeable cases. I don't understand that. I mean, come on, we live in 2025. And you get lost, you know good and well you don't need to be lost around this scene right here that we looking at, right? In a white folk area. You just asking for it. But when you don't befriend FBAs, you'll walk right into that danger. Now, he lucky, all he did was get shot. He lucky. Because a lot of Black folks in one of them areas are like the ones that don't know no better, and they and shot or mysteriously unalived yourself, right? When your family didn't say anything was wrong with you. Now, I say dude was a G with it. I mean, shoot, he had a bullet in him. He went to the convenience store, bleeding, Then he went home? Like, bruh. Like, man, okay, shoot. Shout out to you. Man, I'm glad nothing happened. His life wasn't taken from him, right? But African immigrants, let me tell you something. And I'm telling you from a heart of love, okay? When you left Guinea-Bissau, this a young man left Guinea-Bissau, West Africa, right? Which, I did my, I think with African ancestry. And so a lot of my ancestors were traced back to actually that particular country, the Balanta tribe in particular, right? So shout out to Guinea-Bissau. But you come from West Africa. In West Africa, any African nation, if you was to ask somebody for some help, no one's going to shoot you. They're going to like, oh, well, it's over here or over there or whatever the case may be. It's not going to be shot. Now, when you come to this country, you come to a country of degenerates, okay? Yes, you got your problems in your homeland. Yes, you do. I get it. But when you come here, don't let all the bigger homes and all the current, the lights staying on without load shedding and water shedding and anything else. Don't let any of that fool you, because you are in a land of degenerates who are running the country. The degenerates want to keep military-grade weapons at all times. And they claim it's because they fear the government going to do them something. The government's not going to do them anything. They need them on board to maintain racism, white supremacy. Why are they going to turn against them? When have they ever turned against them? They have done things against us. When they pull out that military-grade weaponry on protesters, they do it to us. They don't do it to them. They just came out here and protested, I don't know how many weeks in a row. No MRAPs, no tear gas, no pepper spray, no rubber bullets, nothing. So all that mess about they saying, well, we worry about a tyrannical government. That government ain't about to do you nothing. They not trying to do you nothing. That's a lie. You keep them guns just in case you want to do something to the FBAs. That's what you keep the guns for. Let me go ahead and go there for a minute. All that Second Amendment crap they talking about, that's all about keeping FBAs at bay. That's what that's about. That's not about the government attacking them. We don't have the government really attack them for anything. And then the time they did really fight in this country with the Civil War, right? And we know all that was linked to slavery. They'll say, no, it wasn't. It was about states' rights. And it was about slavery, because the South was rich with slavery. The North didn't have slavery. And the South was like, what do we need to listen to y'all for? We're going to break off and just create our own country. Forget that. We got money from the slavery, and the rest is history. But ever since the Civil War, they haven't fought against each other. They haven't even tried to. So all that Second Amendment crap they talk about, that is not because of the government. Y'all better think when them people talk, just like when they say freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is not what they say it is. Freedom of speech is I can say any vile thing to any of you, and I should have no consequence. I shouldn't have a physical consequence. I shouldn't have a criminal consequence. I shouldn't have a civil consequence. I shouldn't have any of that, right? None of that. I shouldn't have a financial consequence. So when they say freedom of speech, that's what they mean. When they say Second Amendment and I need to have my guns, that is not to go hunting at all. That is to make sure that they can do things against FBAs if they can. Y'all better believe that. Because if they were so about protecting, why aren't they out there protecting the schools to make sure Connor don't go air it out? You never see all these Second Amendment people at the school trying to patrol and protect. All these people that's talking about walking with guns and Second Amendment marches. Why you ain't doing nothing protecting the schools? You're not doing anything. You don't protect nobody, but you Second Amendment. And don't mention the police or the police on your side. So don't say nothing about no police in your way. The police don't say nothing to you, please. If you're black folks marching with guns, they'll say something. But anyway, so when you come to this country, African immigrants, if your family is saying, well, we're not about any kind of hate, maybe you're not, but they are. Listen, it's certain areas you better learn. Certain areas you better turn down the DoorDash. Say, that's not an area I need to be in. That's more like a sundown area. You better study sundown towns. You come immigrate here. I know in your homeland they didn't have that, but over here, like I said, you're in the land of degenerates. So you better find out what a sundown town is. If it's not a sundown town, some areas is almost like a sundown town. So you better be researching, hey, do I need to be at this place at night? But I'm like this, if I can't be there at night, I don't need to be there in the day either. What's the difference? What's the difference? So they racism going to magically go away because the sun is out? No, I'm not going to be around them. Why do I want to do that? Shoot. I never said anybody want to be, oh man, watch it over there. That's a sundown town. No, that's just a town I'm just going to avoid, period. There's nothing they got in that dumb town where those degenerates are at that I need. Because the so quote unquote sundown towns is not the big cities anyway, or the surrounding areas, if you think about it. So most black folks are in those areas for the most part, the big cities and the surrounding areas. So learn the area where you're at, befriend FBAs when you get here. I know them folks try to lie to you and say, stay away from the FBAs, but talking to FBAs is going to save your life, because what happened to this young man shouldn't have happened. We know we can't go knock on white folks' door at night of all things. And the reason why he was arrested because he committed a freaking crime. You can't go when somebody leave. You can't. First of all, if somebody come to your door and knock on your door, you can't first of all open the door and shoot them. If they're leaving your property, you can't shoot them. Now they're trying to. It depends on the state, but let's say a state like mine, they have the castle law. I can't just go and just try to shoot somebody in my yard. But now, if they broke into my house, like kicked the door in, broke in, and hey, it's on and popping, I can do it if I want at that point. But even if I was getting at them and they ran out the house, right? They whatever. They ran out. I can't chase them down and gun them down because they're running away at that point. So there's even laws to prevent you from doing that. Now, the police is the only one that could gun you down in the back. They legally can do it. But the civilian, no, you can't. Just if they crossed in Texas, they crossed the plane of your car, like if they try to break into your car, your business, or your home, the castle doctrine comes right on in, right? But how many times have we seen black people? Like Rakia Boyd was one of them. They got killed like that. Go and knock on the white folks' door in the middle of the night because she had car trouble. We know we cannot knock on white folks' door. We can't do that. Don't you do that. Don't go knock on white folks' door. I would say just don't be knocking on nobody's door because you just never know what people own. But for sure, don't go knock on their door. As a black person at night, they gonna say, I was scared. He was a thug. And so that's why I did what I did. And it depends on the circumstances they got you in. You know what I'm saying? The police sometimes 90% of the time they're on their side and they're anti-black racist. So do you really want to put yourself in that position? No. So this is why I say, as an immigrant, if you're going to immigrate here, the first thing you need to do is say, let me go find the FBAs. Even if you find the FBA on your new job, you got a new job, they got FBAs, talk to them. Get the history of America, get the nuances of America, do that. It's going to save your life. Just letting you know. Veronica says she don't like driving at night anyway. Some people don't. Some people, my grandfather used to say women shouldn't be on the road at night without a man. That's what he used to say. He used to say that. Nope. You ain't going nowhere by yourself. I'm coming with you. He was a big believer that no woman need to be on the road by themselves. But you imagine, but in 2025, you imagine a man saying that today. You ain't going nowhere. I'm coming. Why can't I go? No, because you're a woman. A man need to be in the car with you. What do you mean? We need to get back to the old school way. Women had a lot more protection back then, but that's a different channel, different conversation. Now, so let me get to my next story. I just want to just wrap it up. African immigrants, Caribbean people probably know a lot more because they've been here a lot longer. But African immigrants, when you come here, befriend FBAs, learn from FBAs. It can save your life, okay? It can save your life because, yes, in one instance, they may prefer you over us because they don't feel guilt with you like they feel with us. You understand? But at the end of the day, they don't like you. Remember, they don't even like themselves, okay? So for sure, they don't like you. They don't like me. They don't like nobody. I mean, if you study their history, they always fighting each other. They still fighting each other now. Russia, Ukraine, there you go. So let's get to your girl, Letitia James. So Letitia James and Trump, they've been going back and forth. So, she originally filed that case on Trump, and Trump was like, man, look, I get in office, it's on and popping. And I said long while ago, you black Democrats, stop being the crash dummies for the white Democrats. Stop doing it. Let them put up the white folks in Trump's way. He's gonna react different with them. Well, he's still gonna get at them too, but it's gonna be a little bit different than when y'all going out there. But no, Letitia James, Fonnie Willis is another one, and Alvin Bragg. All three of them wanted to be out there. Oh yeah, I'll get him. I'll try to do this, and they didn't do nothing. They didn't really do much of nothing. Trump is in the White House. All that y'all done to try to stop Trump, and it didn't work. Y'all tried. But now Letitia James, if you don't know about her situation, got my pen in my hand, right? If you don't know about her situation, so they found out Letitia James had done some alleged mortgage fraud. The same kind of crime that, went blank, Baltimore prosecutor, Marilyn Mosby. The same thing they accused Marilyn Mosby of. Now let me tell you what the main thing was with Letitia James, if y'all don't know about the story with her. So she had got a property in Virginia. Now, she's Attorney General of New York. When she got this property, a couple of things she put down there that she shouldn't have. One, she said that the property was going to be her primary residence. Well, here's the problem with that. It's in Virginia. She's the AG of New York. She can't serve in that position unless her primary residence is in New York. Not to say she couldn't have another house, but her primary residence has to be in New York, okay? New York State. She put down that it was allegedly, her primary residence, okay? Another thing they accused her of is the type of property she got. She kind of... something with I don't know if it's a duplex or something like that she bought, but she put down a certain amount on there about the rooms where she can get a better interest rate. Okay, that's another thing they're accusing her of. The third thing they're accusing her of is, this is wild, but I'm just saying what the accusations are, is that she used saying her father was her husband, I guess to help also get a better rate from what the accusations are. So they referred her to the Department of Justice to investigate her for mortgage fraud. Mortgage fraud can get you some time in jail. It really can. Anything that you falsify on any mortgage documents. Now, you shouldn't even get that far because your realtor and the bank should be looking at those documents and say, hey, you sure about that? Like, I don't want to turn this in to the underwriter until we make sure this is good. But unfortunately, some people don't do their job. Sometimes people could be setting you up or and not really setting you up, but letting you do things so they can have something on you later. With politicians, that happens, right? So she got referred. Okay. So Letitia James, she said, oh, he coming after me. He doing this and that and the third and all that. So a recent video. I want y'all to hear your girl Letitia James. She up here going in at Trump, and she's not too pleased. Let's go ahead and hear this.
You elected me to go to court. You elected me to continue to challenge this administration. You elected me to stand up for the least of God's children. You elected me to continue fighting on, and I will fight on.
Okay. That's a viral video that went around talking about what she been elected to do and all that and coming after her. And now, Letitia James, okay, you haven't been doing nothing for us. This whole time you've been in office, you haven't done nothing for FBAs in New York. A lot of FBAs need jobs. A lot of FBAs need justice. Why aren't you like talking about the stuff that go on Rikers Island? You're not doing nothing for FBAs, but you was up here advocating for immigrants. And I'm not attacking them. I'm just saying who she's advocating for. Because the immigrants that come here, the ones that came underneath Biden, let me say that much, not with Trump, but with Biden, they were dumped in New York City. And we know the situation with all the money they was getting and all of that, but you was advocating for them. When Trump got in office, you still advocating for them. I ain't heard you not once advocate for FBAs. So what are you talking about? See, these black politicians, what they do, they get in office and they forget they black. They say, I'm Democrat, I'm blue. I'm not black, I'm blue. And then when somebody's getting at them, the folks is getting at them, whatever side, because, Democrats eat their own too. But whatever side is getting at them, hey, y'all, they're attacking a black man. They're attacking a black woman. This is racism. Oh, now it's racism? Why? Well, it's like this. If I know possibly somebody can attack me one day, let me go on and build my credit so high with my community that if they even say one word about me, my community gonna pounce immediately because I built my credit so high with them by doing things for my community. You get what I'm saying? So I have deposits to pull from at that point. So when I do turn to my community and say, hey, look at what these people doing, man. This is racism. They be like, you sure right. Hey, let's go out here and defend Phil because we see he always was out here as an attorney general looking out. He didn't sell us out. He made sure them juries were enough black people on these juries and made sure to lower down the incarceration rate of FBAs, right? He was suing companies as predatory lending. He was suing all the payday loan people that go do predatory lending in black communities. I mean, of course, they do that to any community, but they target the black community even more, right? Okay, Phil is out here suing these predatory small business loan people to get you a loan in 4 to 6 hours, or 24 at the most, but it's the most predatory thing ever, right? Oh, he's taking care of that. He's doing so many different things for the community that we asked him. So when somebody come after him, we got him. But you black politicians don't think like that. You don't think, let me do for FBAs first and build up that credit. Then when a Trump or anybody come after him, now you're gonna have the whole community rally around you. Where now you got backing. And one thing I've learned about the white supremacists, when they see that a black person has backing, their whole strategy got to change at that point. When they see a black person has no backing, oh, you red meat for the wolves at that point. You complete red meat. I don't know why you black politicians don't think like that. Them Democrats are not going to save you. They're not going to help you. Brandon Johnson in Chicago, here's another one. He did all that stuff for immigration. They ain't done with him either. They're going to circle back to him. You watch. They're going to circle back to Brandon Johnson. I see it coming. But let me get to Trump. Your boy Trump. Trump wilding out. Let's get to Trump. Let's see what Trump had to say.
I can say unrelated to that, she's a disaster for New York. She's a horrible, horrible human being. And I think she's a total crook. There's no question about it. But that's just my opinion. Pam's going to have to do what she wants. She's a very bad person. She's a very, very bad person who campaigned solely on, I'm going to get Donald Trump over and over again. She's a sick person. But that's has nothing to do with what Pam does. Pam is going to do what's right. She always does. I've known her a long time.
All right. So Pam is he talking about? Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States of America. I just think it'll be any day now for Letitia James be indicted. I think she's going to get indicted. I think she will. I didn't say convicted, but I definitely said indicted. And then after she gets indicted, I want to know if it's going to be Fani Willis or Alvin Bragg. Probably Alvin Bragg, maybe before Fani Willis. I don't know. we'll see. We'll see. And speaking about New York, hey, your boy Diddy on trial right now, y'all. And I don't know if y'all noticed that that trial has started. Some drama that came up already. Mark Garrett goes in the courtroom and he said on the podcast that, you know, he didn't really like the prosecution because it was 6 white women that's prosecuting Puffy. He said he didn't feel that Puffy can get a fair shake with 6 white women. The judge, the prosecutors told that he said that because he's in the courtroom. His daughter, I didn't know, his daughter is on Puffy's defense team. Puffy hired the same lawyer Young Thug had, Brian Steele, out of Atlanta. So he's on his team. And Mark Garagos has been there, like, kind of advising, you know what I'm saying? But he said he been, cool with Puffy for a long time. So, the judge didn't like what he said. He said, hey, well, shoot, it is not good. It don't look good. It don't look right with the optics. That's the only thing he said. So, I guess, we all know that. Shoot, you don't want to look over in any court case and see the whole thing full of them and a bunch of white women in particular. Oh, hell, Puffy. Oh, man, boy, how did they set that up on you? Whew. Boy. You say Umar called the pack of snow bunnies? Yeah. But you know what? Let me put this out here because usually when you speak it, it comes to fruition with time. Put this out here in the atmosphere. They need cameras in federal court. They need cameras in the Supreme Court. Why can't the American public watch any kind of court proceeding? Like we watch in state cases a lot of times, but I think that should be mandatory because federal courts are supported by tax dollars and it's public records that when you go into trial and all that is public record, they should have that on TV. Puffy's trial should be the new OJ trial, be honest with you. All this stuff the Supreme Court doing, we hear about it, like, why no cameras? This all public trials. Why can't we see the proceedings of the Supreme Court? Why? So what I mean by that is this. Any newer politicians come in, y'all need to change that and say, hey, we want cameras in the courtroom. We want cameras everywhere. Of course, like no different than like what a court TV would do. Certain things they know what to silence and whatever that they can't be saying publicly. But we should be able to see the Puffy trial. We should be able to see what goes on in the Supreme Court or any trial that's in federal court. We should be able to see that. You know what I'm saying? That's in the interest of the public. I hate to hear that trial the way I'm hearing it. We getting the information, but it's just like, bro, like, why are we looking at drawings? We should be looking at what's going on, jury selection to all of that, right? Like OJ was a state case, of course. It was a state case, it wasn't a Fed case. But still, we should have been able to see this trial. See what the government going to present, what they saying, how they trying to prosecute him. We want to now with Puffy. I'll get to Kyle Rittenhouse in a minute. With Puffy, they offered him 186 months, which is equivalent to 15 years on a plea deal. Puffy said no. Well, Puffy's in his 50s. 15 years is a life sentence at his age. Okay? Puffy won't, how old is Puffy right now? What is he, 50 what? Is he 55, 56, somewhere around there? Puffy? I could check. Let me get his right age. Yeah, if y'all know his age before I find it, let me find out how old is Diddy. Hold on, let me see. Diddy. Let me get my phone right real quick. Diddy. Oh, he's 55. Okay. So if he took a plea deal at 55 for 15 years, Puffy would be 70. If he just did all his time. Man, Puffy don't want to do that. No, of course he gonna fight it. Yeah, and if he said, listen, being a quote-unquote freak, it's not illegal. Now, if you're drugging people, that's illegal. If you're doing things with underage people, but he's not been charged with anything underage. He hasn't. They claiming that he's bringing S-workers, to different places and all of that. But that's that old Mann Act stuff, right? Which we know that's completely racist and anti-black, based off of, that's basically the Jack Johnson law, right? transporting somebody over state lines. Like, what are you talking about? You know, people, I understand there was some drugs, dog. Like, so if that's the case, you know how many people that violated that law? If you fly a woman out, you violated that law. So why all them people not getting dragged into court? I'm just saying, they got rich men right now that fly women to the yacht from all over the country. That's crossing state lines. And you already know what's going on them yachts, right? And a lot of these women are certified as workers. And yet none of them getting put in jail. I'm not trying to say Puffy didn't do no wrong, but I'm just saying don't be sitting up here trying to make an example out of Puffy and you got so many of them doing the same thing, but even worse than what Puffy was doing. Look, I'm not saying Puffy didn't do things that were wrong. I'm not saying that, Cynthia. I'm not saying that. The only thing I'm saying about the Puffy situation is there's a lot of people where he was at, Hollywood, the music industry, that's worse off than he was, and nobody getting no charges. Look, I say everybody need to get charged if they doing wrong, but don't sit up here and like Diddy is the main guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I look at what he's charged with. That's my thing. Look at what he's charged with. RICO. What RICO? Why are you charging? You charge R. Kelly the same thing. And when they brought R. Kelly, you know what he's in jail for? He's not in jail for no underage girls. Like, why are you? They try to do the same thing with at least a state case with Young Thug. We talking about a RICO. That's that Al Capone stuff. Like, you know, like the mafia and all those things like that. Like, I'm just saying, you constantly bringing RICO charges on these black men or whatever. They didn't bring him in. Like, even the Cassie thing, right? We saw the video. They say some of it was edited or whatever, right? He's not charged with that. That's not on. So you can't, in a court case, you can't say, oh, well, because he did that to Cassie. No, you got to judge him based off of what's in the evidence and what he's being charged with in that particular trial. It don't matter if he got 1,000 civil suits. You got to look at what's in the evidence of this case. I'm just saying to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Just to be fair, that's all. If he did something wrong, then hey, he needs to suffer the consequences, of course. But there's a lot going on in this country, trust me, a lot. That Clive Davis dude, why he never went to prison. We'll go there. Now, okay, so let's get to your boy Kyle Rittenhouse. Let me go here. So your boy Kyle, I didn't even know this happened. Your boy Kyle. Let me put this up here. Hold on. Where's my thing here? This your boy Kyle Rittenhouse. See, Kyle Rittenhouse. That's him, right? 1.5 million followers. His new book, Acquitted. Ain't nobody about to read that crap. Karmelo Anthony deserves life in prison. And that's coming from Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse killed a couple of people. Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state lines with guns. He didn't need to be where he was at with no guns. But yeah, that's what he ended up doing, Kyle, right? Kyle Rittenhouse. Karmelo Anthony was defending himself from bodily harm. And yet, according to Kyle, he deserves life in prison for what? Self-defense? No. Y'all said that we have a right to defend ourselves in this country, even if it's deadly force. How many times have a black person pushed one of y'all? Just push, not punch, push. Y'all pull out a gun, shot him dead, and say, oh, that's self-defense. If he didn't put his hands on him, then he would be alive, right? So that's the same thing I said about Austin Metcalf. He wouldn't have put his hands on Karmelo, he'd be alive. And people are saying, oh, well, what he doing bringing a knife to track meet? Well, here's the thing. I don't know how many of y'all know about cleats, track shoes. You know, you do have things you use to sharpen the cleats when they're dull. There's tools for that. Sometimes when you got little knives and stuff like that to try to get the spike out, so you can replace the spike. So sharpeners and knives and stuff like that are around in track. Usually coaches and people like that have them so they can change out spikes. Okay. Sometimes you need to get some stuff out your spikes, so you use a sharp object like a little knife or something to get things out. So when you talk about what is he doing, carrying and bringing a knife and this and that and the third, like that stuff is rarely around. And like if someone's beating you, these two big brutes are beating you. They can hit you one good time, and knock you out, hit your head on that pavement, and you done. When people say, "Oh well, they'll just punching," yeah, a punch can kill you. You don't know people's condition. One punch can kill a person. It's happened to many people. Many people. You knock somebody out, they hit their head on that pavement, they out of there. They done. Many people that went to jail behind a simple so-called fist fight, and they knocked that person out. It wasn't a knockout that got them. It was they hit their head on that concrete, and that was it. And that's what got them. So no, it's not just a simple fight. Especially with two people, you have a right to defend yourself. So if y'all, Kyle, you said you had a right to defend yourself, but yet Karmelo didn't have a right to defend himself. You should be supporting Karmelo. You of all people, Kyle, you should be supporting him. You were running around here talking about self-defense. You and all your hellions. So it's self-defense, sir. It's self-defense, completely self-defense. We're not going to have one set of rules for y'all. Listen, we ain't going back to Jim Crow. I thought about her. It's true. Look, Kamala Harris was right. We're not going back. We ain't going back to no Jim Crow rules. Well, y'all can do whatever the hell y'all want to do, and we can't. Oh, no. If y'all do it, we're doing it. It's just that simple. And if you don't like it, well, you stop doing it, then we stop doing it. But this is not Jim Crow. I know y'all want it back. I know you want Jim Crow back so bad. That's not coming back. Sorry. It's not enough of you here to even enforce it. Your birth rates. Ain't God good? Because when you had the numbers, look what you did with it. Did you do something positive in America when you had all the numbers? No, you didn't do nothing positive. You was oppressive. And maybe your woman just don't want to have no babies with you no more because she knows the hell you put her through too. Even though that's your partner in crime, you know, because like they said, nobody know the level of abuse of Connor and Brad like his woman. The only difference is his woman sit up there and take it to save face and to stay married. You look into some of them stories, how they be beating they women and how they be doing some heinous things to they women. Whoo, boy, look. Yeah, DeAndre and Keisha may be fighting sometime, but I have not read no stories. Yeah, and it may be some crazy dude that may show up at her job and shoot her. I've seen them stories too. But that's usually how far it go. It don't go to a situation where DeAndre is taking the life of the kids, the dog, the woman, and himself. You don't really see that too much. I've seen stories where they husbands and literally got like Jeffrey Dahmer out here on them. I've seen them stories. And I remember them stories when I told them about White on White Crime Month years ago when them folks wouldn't leave me alone. And I told them, so you keep on coming over here talking about black on black crime. I'm going to do White on White Crime Month. And I did it. White on White Crime Month. And I didn't say nothing bad. I just reported the story. I was genuine about the victims. And after I did White on White Crime Month, they left me alone. They still leave me alone. They don't really say nothing to me about black crime. They don't. Because they learned their lesson years ago. I would dedicate my time to you because I got the time to dedicate to you. And I will say this: nobody really likes me to dedicate time to them. That's why even some black folks that want to start things, I'm like, look, don't leave me alone. I don't want to dedicate time to you, because usually when I dedicate time to anybody, something usually happens out of it, for the most part, for what I've seen. So don't let me dedicate time to you. All right. You say bring that series back with updates. That's a different time period. I don't really care at this point. I don't care what they do to each other. I really don't. We have a lot of issues in our own community we need to be discussing. And I don't want, and that, even though I would be talking about their crime, that would still be kind of them colonizing our platform. And I don't need them colonizing. We have so many stories that have never been reported in our community, here in America, and throughout the world, right? There's a lot of stories that still I would love to get. There's a lot of ideas I have on my whiteboard over here that I would like to do, right? And I want to get that done. And it has nothing to do with them, I promise you. So let them report on their own crime. I just had to prove a point. That's all. And I proved it, and then that was the end of it. You said if they worried about bricks like they worry and monitor us, they may have an attitude, may have an antidote to it by now. There's no antidote to anything. There's no antidote. People throughout the world are tired of them. They're tired, and they're going to unify. Because it's just biblical prophecy, though. If you actually knew and studied the Book of Revelation, the Western world is not going. It's not going to be a good end for them. Let me say that much. It's not going to be a good end at all. The whole Western world is not going to be the place. Trust me, it is not going to be the place. They are not going to be something like they think. Trust me. There you go, Eric. Say we turn the page. That's right. Yeah, we're not worrying with them people. We're not worried with them people. If they leave us alone, I really don't have nothing to say about them. You notice I don't talk about Asians all the time. Why I don't talk about Asians? I only talk about them unless they do something to us. If they don't do nothing to us, do I talk about what Asians do? No. Do I talk about what Arabs do? No. Do I talk about what Hispanics are doing? No. Why? Unless they do something to us or in relation to us, I don't talk about other groups. Only time I talk about them is because they always got in our mix. They always doing something. Listen, if they got to the point they just act like the other groups and just stay in their lane and stay away from us and leave us alone, and we have very minimal interactions here and there we talk about, I wouldn't say a word about them. I wouldn't even talk about them. I promise you I wouldn't talk about them. There would be no reason to talk. And they don't want that. Oh, Lord, they don't want that. Oh, no. Oh, Lord, no. They don't want that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the stream tonight. Really appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. That's very, very important. And we'll definitely see y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Join us tonight on the Phillip Scott podcast channel. If you're not subscribed over there, make sure. And also, we got 24 spots left on the Ghana trip for November. Make sure you sign up for that. Like I said, it's definitely in the community tab post. I'm just going to leave it there if you want to get the link, and I'll after this over, I'll put it on the pinned comment in case you want to check it out and sign up. It's deposit $199. We'd love to see and meet y'all in November. So thank y'all for listening.